Hi again, folks. This is Scotch in Sports. I'm Tony,
And I am the law.
and today is our NFL Draft Extravaganza. Let the die decide. Huh?
Woo!
Yep, that's right. And we'll get into that in a second. But first off, Law, the folks out there got to know what you're drinking.
I'm going off script today. I'm drinking brandy today. Today I'm drinking Paul Masson. Nice, smooth
Oh,
brandy.
very good, very good. And I've broken out some very good stuff for the occasion. I'm drinking a single malt Scotch, Oban 14 year. Very, very fine stuff here in my collection. So before we get into this, cheers. Here's to you, my friend.
And here's to you, my friend. Salud.
Salud. Okay, so why don't, before we get into this, Law, why don't you recap what we're doing here, and we'll explain why we're doing it as well.
This is very simple. We needed to come up with a new way of evaluating draft picks right out the box because we got tired of watching the draft every single year, hearing pundits talk about that was a good pick, that was a bad pick. Nobody knows. Certainly not them.
Certainly not them. And the NFL is a completely different animal when it comes to football. There's no real good way to have any sort of certainty whatsoever about what a college player is going to be or do once they get into the NFL. So we decided if the pundits know what they're talking about, and we certainly don't know what we're talking about, perhaps we should let the die decide. And that is a 20-sided D&D style die that's going to let us know how these draft picks are going to perform throughout their careers. And you want to explain real briefly how you break that down?
Now, believe it or not, there was actually a good amount of research that went into this. Going back over 20 years, a 20-year sample of NFL draft data taken from the first 32 picks. Can't call it just the first round because the number of teams has changed over the years. But we took the first 32 picks of the draft from 1996 to 2015 because by now we have a good idea of what happened with those guys from the 2015 draft, what their career trajectory is. And we separated them into 6 different categories. Hall of Famer, All-Pro, Pro Bowler, a 10-plus year starter, a 5-plus year starter, and if you were drafted in the first 32 picks and you didn't develop into a 5-plus year starter, you're a bust.
I think that's fair for a top 32 pick. If you're not getting the team 5 solid years, then you were a complete failure.
Based on that, we did some slight adjustments, and we came up with this roll chart that I'm putting up on the board right now. We could also put up this, which was our original informational chart that led to the creation of the roll chart. If you have questions, why is one pick better than another pick? Who are the people? Put them down in the comments. We would love to talk to you about that, but we're also not going to waste the video's time because we have one other little item that we get to for each of these draft picks, and that is...
What we're going to do this year is either be informational or just downright disrespectful, and decided that we are going to Google the player's name along with the word arrested just to see what comes up. We're not going to make any comments on what pops up. All we're going to do is be a vessel and transmit this information to you, our adoring listening public, and you take what you will from that information. So we're going to Google the draft pick along with the word arrested and see what comes up. And part of the reason we're doing this is A, we're just doing it, and B, because of our social distancing practices, this time around, we did this once before, Law has the 20-sided die, so unfortunately I can't involve myself in rolling, so I'm going to be doing our arrested research today.
All right. All that being said, my friend, let's get this party started.
All right, I'm ready to go.
With the number 1 pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals have selected quarterback Joe Burrow out of LSU. What happens when you Google Joe Burrow and arrested?
When you Google Joe Burrow and arrested, what comes up is Joe Burrow, LSU player, smokes cigars after win. Police officer threatens to arrest them.
All right.
All right. So, whatever you want, folks. Whatever that means to you. I hope it's meaningful, and I hope it impacts you in some serious way. But Here's the important part. What is Joe Burrow going to be to the Cincinnati Bengals? And Law, you are our priest today. You are the one who knows the will of the Almighty God. Please bestow the information upon us.
And we have an 18, which puts him as a high All-Pro.
Well, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man, I hope we don't get too many of these at the top because people are going to think this is rigged. That's a pretty damn good break for the Cincinnati Bengals, huh?
Cincinnati, you got yourselves a quarterback there. Sorry, Andy. Time to move on.
Yeah, by the way, Andy Dalton. I don't know if anybody saw that quarantine video of his when he was in the backyard throwing the football with his kids. I really feel like Andy Dalton should have a nicer backyard. So if you get a chance to look at that, maybe let me know in the comments if you agree with that.
We'll throw that on up there. All right. The number 2 overall pick. The Washington Redskins have selected Chase Young, defensive end from Ohio State.
Ohio State's Chase Young suspended indefinitely as athletic department looks into possible NCAA violation. A loan from a family friend sparked the investigation. There you go, folks. There you go. That's a juicy one. Okay. Well, here we go. Once again.
All right. Chase Young. 1.
Wow. Wow, that's what happens when you have an NCAA violation. Huh.
Oh, well, couldn't have happened to a more racistly named franchise.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Let no one say that it didn't happen to an undeserving franchise. Oh, wow.
All right, well, we're just going to have to step on over Chase Young and move along here. With the 3rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions have selected Jeffrey Okudah, quarterback from Ohio State.
Googling Jeff Okudah arrested. What pops up is A Letter to My Mom by Jeff Okudah in the Players Tribune. And I'm not going to go into the article, but that's what comes up.
Is a letter he wrote to his mom.
A Letter to My Mom by Jeff Okudah. Take from that what you will, and let's see what the Godly Die has to say about the future of Jeff Okudah.
Oh, 2.
Oh, man. What kind of letter did he write to his mom?
Oh, man. Oh, Jeff.
Oh, that kind of letter. No.
Oh, Jeff. We
Jeff.
hardly knew you.
Oh, my God. That's the only reason he got a 2 is because they just stacked the body on top of Chase Young. Oh, my God.
Wow. All right.
Oh, this is not going well for
it's not going well for Ohio State. That's who it's not going well for.
Oh, man. Okay, we got the Giants next, right? Okay,
Yep.
What do we got?
With the number 4 pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, your New York Football Giants have selected Andrew Thomas, an offensive tackle from Georgia.
And this is another generic name, so who knows what this refers to. But Andrew Thomas, active arrest warrant, Deland Police Department.
What police department?
Deland. D-E-L-A-N-D. If there's anybody from Deland, I hope you don't get mad at me, but I have no idea what the hell that is. But anyway, it's a very generic name, so there's not a lot we're going to get out of that one. But we will get a lot out of the Godly Die, who tells us what Andrew Thomas's future is going to be. Law, I am a New York Giants fan. I have a lot riding on this. Please put in a good word for me to the die.
Okay, well, it's a 5.
Oh, God.
For some other picks, that would be as bad as it gets. At pick 4, that makes him a 5+ year starter.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't have too many of those.
So they're gonna. He's gonna be there for a while, and they're eventually gonna find someone better.
Oh, man. Well, look, it could be worse. We could be stacking the body on top of Jeff Okudah and Chase Young. So, all right, let's move on before I get depressed.
All right, with the 5th overall pick, the Miami Dolphins have selected Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. Tua is a 14, which at pick 5 makes him a Pro Bowler. All right, with the number 6 pick In the 2020 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers have selected Justin Herbert, quarterback from Oregon.
I know you're very high on him. Let's see. The first thing that comes up in terms of an article, written article, Justin Herbert arrested. Former Oregon wide receiver Jalen Hall could face life in prison following arrest. And here's the tagline. When he left, Cristobal expected Hall to return. How far could Justin Herbert fall in the 2020 season? Right.
Okay. Well.
So, wow, apparently, I guess that means that Justin Herbert's squeaky clean, but let the die tell us what his future holds.
Yep. Former number six picks. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer like Walter Jones or a bust like Justin Herbert? I mean, a bust like Vernon Golston. Let's find out. 15.
15. Wow.
15. Justin Herbert is a Pro Bowler.
Wow. Oh, not to your chagrin, but
didn't see that coming.
You can't question the die. You can't. You're going to have to change your opinion on him.
It's been a great draft for quarterbacks so far.
Yeah, actually, I've noticed that. The quarterbacks have all kind of been high above everybody else. All right, well, let's move on. Justin Herbert, we'll see what happens with him. And we're moving on to the Carolina Panthers.
With the 7th pick, the Carolina Panthers have selected Derek Brown, a defensive tackle from Auburn.
And the first thing that comes up, Derek Brown arrested. WTOV 9, 2 arrested for fleeing after police respond to fight. Derek Brown and Marquise King were arrested on obstructing official business charges. And we'll leave it at that. Don't even know if it's the same Derek Brown. Don't care. So.
Almost certain it's not, but... So, Derek Brown of Auburn, what does the die have to say to you? 14.
14.
Ooh, a rough pick to be number 14. That puts him as a 10-plus year starter, just short of Pro Bowl status.
All right, well, you can't really complain too much about a 10-plus year starter on your team.
Not at all, no.
If somebody's holding their job for that long, it's because, they're needed, so...
With the number 8 pick, the Arizona Cardinals have selected Isaiah Simmons, linebacker from Clemson.
Wow. If you Google Isaiah Simmons arrested, the first thing that comes up is from Fox 10 in Phoenix. Arizona Cardinals selected Isaiah Simmons in first round of 2020 NFL draft.
If Fox News in Phoenix says that being drafted to the Cardinals is the same as being arrested, then... that's their decision.
You know what? They might have a point there. Well, anyway, let's see how his future in the prison that is the Arizona Cardinals is going to go.
Ooh, not so good. Not so good. He got a 5.
Oh, a 5. Oh, dear.
Oh, man. That's a bust.
Wow. Okay. Well, it is Phoenix, so the guy knows what it's doing. Let's move on.
With the number 9 overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars have selected C.J. Henderson, a cornerback from Florida.
Okay. If you Google C.J. Henderson arrested, the first thing that comes up, the headline is, quiet off the field. Gators quarterback C.J. Henderson has been making noisy plays. That's kind of a feel-good one, isn't it?
Well, you know what? Down in Florida, if you make too many noisy plays, your 80-year-old neighbors call the cops on you. So that's probably what happened there.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, let's see how he's going to fare down there in Jacksonville.
14.
Wow.
Oh, but he picked a rough pick 9. 14 on pick 9 is only a 5-plus year starter.
That's a shame when the die does all that work for you. But we're going to move on to a much more storied franchise now.
All right, here we go. With the number 10 overall pick, the Cleveland Browns have selected Jedrick Wills, a tackle from Alabama.
And if you Google Jedrick Wills arrested, the first thing that comes up is most NFL ready. Former Brown Joe Thomas reacts to Cleveland's selection of Jedrick Wills. Well, hey, a lot of these guys must be squeaky clean. This is nice to see. Well, he is now anyway. He is going into that fun house called Cleveland. So let's see what the future holds. Perhaps the die can enlighten us as to what crimes he may commit.
A 10 at pick 10 makes him a 5+ year starter.
Getting off easy there in Cleveland, huh?
Now, I should also point out to people that being a 5+ year starter is, the next step up from that is 10+ years. So if you never made a Pro Bowl, but were on your team and started for 7 or 8 years, you fall into that 5+ year category. And I think, especially given that we've already had some busts, I think a lot of people would sign up to be a 5+ year starter.
Wow, yeah. I look, 5 years is the average career in the NFL. And sometimes your career doesn't end because you're bad. Your career ends because playing that game just takes a toll on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't necessarily mean it's not necessarily a bad thing. And luck of the roll there for the Cleveland Browns, because that could have been way worse at a different position on this list. So now we're going to move on to your New York Jets.
And with the 11th pick, my New York Jets have selected Mekhi Becton, tackle out of Louisville.
Mekhi Becton arrested. First thing that comes up, and I'm sure you'll be happy to hear this, Law. Projected first round NFL draft pick, Mekhi Becton's drug test flag.
Yep.
That's Jetsian, all right. Well, maybe the die could be his salvation.
In the 20-year window that we looked at, the best pick you could have in the draft in the first round was pick number 11. It's the only time that you've got an equal chance of making the Hall of Fame as being a bust. If you're interested in who those players were that we based that off of, mention something down in the comments. We'll throw some names out at you. But here we go.
You got a lot riding on this, Law.
I do. Here we go.
What's it going to be?
No whammies, no whammies. 20!
20! Wow.
And I do feel the need to remind everybody that this is 100% legit. I am actually excited right now, way more than I should be for what we're doing. But
wow,
Mekhi Becton's going to the Hall of Fame.
Wow, he's going to the Hall of Fame. Wow, it must be steroids. That must be what was flagged.
Sweet.
Fantastic. Wow, well, the die has shown mercy upon you. Oof. Wow, I'm impressed.
I am legitimately excited.
That's fantastic. Wow.
Woo.
Who'd have thought?
Best player of the draft so far.
So we're going to have to move on to something that may be more comical. The Las Vegas Raiders.
With the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders have selected Henry Ruggs, a wide receiver from Alabama.
First thing that comes up. Alabama man arrested for allegedly trying to meet up with 13-year-old child for sex. All right, so why don't we roll that die and see...
Wait, hold on. You got to click on that article and see if it was actually Henry Ruggs or if that's just something that links to a Henry Ruggs article, because that's a lot right there.
No, it's actually, when you click on it, it has nothing to do with Henry Ruggs.
Oh, thank God. All right.
But it's the first thing that comes up it's the first thing that comes up when you Google his name.
Oh my God. Okay.
And it's not the name of the person that was arrested either.
Oh my God.
His name's not even in the article. Wow, Henry, if you're listening, man, you need to get some PR people. Jesus Christ. Can this just happen to anybody? This is horrible. Oh my God, this might have not been the best idea we've ever had.
Well,
watch the tape. Give this guy a 20, would you please? Oh my God.
And that one hit the floor. Hold on, I gotta find it.
Oh no.
I can't tell the difference between 13 and 15 from here. Hold on.
Oh, geez. It's a real pro setup we got here, folks.
That is a 15. That's a 15 for Henry Ruggs. Yeah, that makes him a Pro Bowler.
All right, let's move on to 13 because I feel really bad for this. I really want this kid to do great now because I feel so bad about what came up when you Google him. Oh, my God.
With the 13th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have selected Tristan Wirfs, an offensive tackle from Iowa.
All right, Tristan Wirfs arrested. Iowa offensive lineman Tristan Wirfs arrested on OWI charge, and that is from Hawk Central. Operating while intoxicated. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, so let's see how the drunken Tristan Wirfs will perform as a member of the Tampa Bay Tom Brady's. Di, what do you have to say?
13. He's a Pro Bowler.
Oh, look at that. Well, isn't that nice for Tom Brady? Well,
wait. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. He is a 10-plus year starter.
Ah, okay.
Which is also fine.
Well, yeah, that's also fine, but that's not going to be because of Tom Brady. I mean, 10 more years, sheesh. So the kid must have some talent then, because he's presumably going to last beyond Tom Brady.
One would assume. One would hope.
San Francisco 49ers from the Bucs. They got this one from the Bucs. All right, what do they got?
With the 14th pick, the San Francisco 49ers have selected defensive tackle Javen Kinlaw.
Javen Kinlaw arrested, Googled, and you come up with, once homeless, Javen Kinlaw hasn't left the streets behind.
Aw.
All right. That's, well, not yet. He's not rich yet. But anyway. Let's see what the die has to say about Javen Kinlaw and how soon he'll be back to the streets.
20.
He's never going back to the streets, folks. Surefire Hall of Famer. Woo.
Hold on. So the San Francisco 49ers just added a Hall of Fame defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's a little scary when you think about it, huh?
Man, they are stacked.
Yeah, they already were. I mean, whoosh.
The Denver Broncos have selected wide receiver Jerry Jeudy from Alabama.
All right, Alabama. Oh, jeez. Jerry Jeudy arrested. I hope this is okay. All right. Oh, okay. Yes. All right. Jerry Jeudy explains why he wears Jewish symbol on his necklace from the South Florida Sun. There you go, folks.
That's definitely an article that we're going to link to. I'm going to put that in a little card up at the top here because I want to find that and read it later.
Yeah, that sounds interesting, actually. But, well, anyway, let's see how the Denver Broncos are going to fare with Jerry Jeudy. Please, almighty guy, show us the way.
That's a 5. Jerry Judy's a bust.
A bust? Oh, no. Oh, no.
With the number 16 pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons have selected A.J. Terrell, a cornerback from Clemson.
All right, and if you Google A.J. Terrell arrested, what comes up is rather innocuous. Atlanta Falcons draft hometown cornerback A.J. Terrell in the first round. So, it's a nice hometown story. So let's see if the die will show some mercy and give them something that they can work with for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years, maybe even a Hall of Famer.
15. He is a Pro Bowler.
All right. Well, you know what? The Atlanta could use that, especially now that they have to contend with the Tampa Bay Tom Brady. Yeah, Atlanta's a franchise I'd like to see do well. So, fantastic. I'm happy for you, Atlanta fans.
Pushing forward. With the number 17 overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys have selected CeeDee Lamb, a wide receiver from Oklahoma.
Okay, CeeDee Lamb arrested comes up from the Dallas Morning News. Oh, God. Man arrested in Mesquite after allegedly throwing a baby out of a window.
There's no way that's CeeDee Lamb.
It's not. It's the same kind of situation. It's the first thing that comes up when you Google his name. You open it up, it says that, and then the first thing it says is that it's a guy named Andre Richardson who's 40 years old. CeeDee Lamb did not throw a baby out the window, everybody, or a window. Let's see how he fares as a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys.
we got an 18, which at the 17th overall pick is an all-pro.
Look at that.
Oh, Dak's going to like that.
Yeah, Dak. Ugh, God, I don't like that. But what are you going to do? What to do? The Dallas Cowboys have always been stacked over the years, and somehow you have to overcome it. So, let's move on to one of your nemeses, the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, these jerks had like every draft pick, and they even managed to trade down later on to get more draft picks. All right. With the number 18 overall pick of the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins have selected Austin Jackson, a tackle from USC.
Austin Jackson arrested. Police. Man accused of beating girlfriend and threatening to kill her. Manchester, Kentucky. First thing that comes up.
Is it Austin Jackson?
No, it's not. It's not.
All right. Google's got to fix this.
Google has something against college football players. I gotta tell you.
Holy cow!
This is really bad. All right, well, let's see how Austin Jackson fares.
All right,
let's just see how he does on the Miami Dolphins, please.
We got an 8. An 8 with the number 18 overall pick makes him a 5+ year starter.
All right. Can't really complain about that. Oh my gosh. All right, so why don't we move on before and see how dark these are going to get as we're going now. We have the Miami Dolphins. We're on. Oh, the Las Vegas Raiders again, this time from the Bears.
And with that 19th overall pick, the Las Vegas Raiders have selected Damon Arnett, a cornerback from Ohio State.
Okay. Finally, something a little bit more wholesome, although I don't know why it comes up when you Google the word arrested. Watch. Arnett ecstatic about son's birth. Chance at NFL Combine. Oh. Yeah, that's a nice one. I have to taste that in my mouth a little bit. Oh. All right, well, let's hope that his career might turn into something, but the only one who knows that for sure is the die. So what does the die?
11. A 5+ year starter.
All right, I get a lot of those. It's kind of like a mediocre draft, huh?
Yeah, so far it does look like the die specifically has it out for Ohio State players because we've had 3 of them go here, and so far Damon Arnett has been the best of the group.
And maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars and their pick from the Rams have something special. Who'd they pick, Law?
With the number 20 overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars have selected Kayvon Chasen, a defensive end out of LSU.
And if you Google Kayvon Chasen arrested, first thing that comes up, from deflating injury to dangerous pass rusher, Kayvon Chasen returns. Let's see how Kayvon's going to do for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh. He is a 19. That is an all-pro.
Oh, no, he didn't get up to Hall of Famer, huh?
Yeah, we're actually at the point in the draft where all but the 26th pick, you need a 20 to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, wow. All right, well, let's move on to a team that I hope doesn't do so good, and that would be the evil Philadelphia Eagles.
And with the 21st pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the evil Philadelphia Eagles have selected Jalen Reagor, a wide receiver from TCU.
Yeah, I can confirm that because the first thing that comes up is from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Eagles draft TCU receiver Jalen Reagor with Justin Jefferson still available. Ooh, nice little burn there. Nice little burn. All right. Well, let's see if Jalen Reagor can prove all of these Justin Jefferson lovers wrong. What does the die have to say?
Oh, you're not going to like this. You're not going to like this. It's a 20.
My God.
He is going to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, jeez. Well, oh, God. You know what? The die is not on my side this year.
Wow, all of these wide receivers are going the first round, and Jalen Reagor is the first one going to the Hall of Fame. Wow. All right.
Let's move on away from that horrible embarrassment and move on to the Minnesota Vikings, a pick they got from the Bills.
And with that 22nd pick, the Minnesota Vikings have selected the aforementioned Justin Jefferson, a wide receiver from LSU.
I really think the Philadelphia Eagles should have taken Justin Jefferson. I don't know about you. Anyway, Justin Jefferson arrested, yields from WBRZ, Channel 2, ABC. LSU's Justin Jefferson says he gave post-championship cash from Odell Beckham Jr. to his church. Aw, that's so nice. That's so nice. Now, let's see if maybe you should have held on to that cash, depending on what the die says about your future career.
Oh, he should have held on to it. He should have held on to it. It's a 1.
Oh, the Eagles really should have picked him. Oh, wow. Hey, it just goes to show you, if somebody gives you some money, hold on to it. Hold on. Okay? Don't get greedy. Don't assume you're going to be rich and famous just because you're in the NFL. Hold on to the money. Moving on to the Los Angeles Chargers, a pick they got from the Patriots.
And with that 23rd pick, the Los Angeles Chargers have selected Kenneth Murray, a linebacker from Oklahoma.
Okay. And if you Google Kenneth Murray arrested. Oh, Jesus.
That's a common name. That's a common name.
A common name. And I'll read the first one and then I'll read the second one because it doesn't get any better. Neighbors charged after gunshots and assault. That one's not so good. Let's move on to the second one that pops up. On probation for child porn. Carry man charged again. Raleigh News and Observer.
Oh, my God. Are any of these actually about Kenneth Murray?
No. One is close. One is... the first one, the assault charges are on a Kenneth Harold Murray, 46. And the second one, the child porn, that was watched by Ken Preston Murray.
Right.
So, moving on to... Oh, wait, no, we got to see what the die has to say first. Well, moving on to what the die has to say.
Okay, pick number 23. That is an 11. He's a 5+ year starter.
The generic names are dangerous, man. We need some of the more colorful and unique names because it makes it harder. It makes it harder for Google not to know who you're talking about. But oh my God.
We've definitely talked more about child porn during this broadcast than I wanted to. That's for sure.
Yeah, a lot more actually. Yeah. Sheesh. All right, well, let's move on to something that's hopefully more positive. The New Orleans Saints and the 24th pick in the NFL draft. What do they got?
They have selected Cesar Ruiz, a center from Michigan.
Okay, and if you Google Cesar Ruiz arrested, it doesn't get any better. Arrested and charged with assault in El Paso, Texas on May 15th, 2018.
Is that actually this Cesar Ruiz?
I don't know. I don't know. There's no photo. I don't know.
All right.
Well, take from that what you will, folks. Let's see if the die can save the reputation of Cesar Ruiz.
It cannot. Cesar Ruiz is got a 6, which at the 24th pick makes him a bust.
Oh, not good. I guess the best thing we could do is to move on to the already stacked San Francisco 49ers and a pick they got from the Vikings.
And with that pick they got from the Vikings, the San Francisco 49ers at number 25 have selected Brandon Ayuk, a wide receiver from Arizona State.
Okay, and if you Google Brandon Ayuk arrested, first thing that comes up, CBS Local in Sacramento. It was already written. Rockland native Brandon Ayuk tweets picture of himself in San Francisco 49ers jersey back when he was 4 years old. Wow. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm glad we Googled his name and arrested. Now let's see what sort of San Francisco 49er he's going to be. The die, hello.
He got a 13.
Wow, all right.
Which at the 25th pick puts him just south of the high end stuff, but he is a 5+ year starter.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Not bad. A positive Google article and a positive result, or a positive-ish result. So let's move on to the Green Bay Packers, a pick they got from the Texans through the Dolphins, and I don't know, it fell off the back of a truck or something, but anyway. Who do they got?
With the 26th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers have selected Jordan Love, quarterback from Utah State.
Okay, yeah, this is an interesting one. And if you Google Jordan Love arrested, first thing that comes up from Fox 13 in Salt Lake City, Jordan Love and 2 other Utah State football players charged with marijuana possession. Ooh.
Oh, that might be the first legitimate one we've had in a while. All right.
That's probably, yeah. But anyway, let's see how Jordan Love will do high as a kite for the Green Bay Packers.
We got a 12.
All right. Wow, which is incidentally Rod's number.
All right, so that 12 puts him as a 5+ year starter, which is not what you want from a quarterback that you drafted the first round.
Not so good, but then again, I mean, they've still got all that time with Aaron Rodgers, you would think, right?
One would assume.
And off we go to Seattle. And the Seattle Seahawks had their first pure pick here.
And with the number 27 overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks have selected Jordan Brooks, a linebacker from Texas Tech.
Okay. Jordan Brooks, first thing that comes up, very pedestrian. Seahawks select linebacker Brooks with first pick in 2020 NFL Draft. Look at that. It seems like this is all Jordan Brooks has got going on in his life right now, so let's see how he's going to be for the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, it's a 1.
Oh, dear. Oh, wow. Well, you know what?
Jordan.
Seattle had a good run. Yeah, we had a good run.
Jordan, we hardly knew ye.
Yep, in fact, they're going to have to pick up the body of Chase Young to throw Jordan Brooks underneath. Oh, dear. All right, well, let's move on to something hopefully more positive. The Baltimore Ravens and their first pure pick at number 28. What do we got?
And with that 28th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens have selected Patrick Queen, a linebacker from LSU.
Okay, and you Google Patrick Queen arrested. First thing that comes up from the Advocate, Patrick Queen is the miracle baby, dedicated to LSU from birth, one of our best players. Kind of an odd way to say that, isn't it? Anyway. That's a little strange, but all right, well, let's see if he could be the miracle baby for the Baltimore Ravens. What say you, Dan?
We got an 11, which at the 28th overall pick makes him a 5+ year starter.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, there you go. Not bad at all to say about it. So let's move on to the Tennessee Titans and their first pure pick at number 29.
And with that 29th overall pick, the Tennessee Titans have selected Isaiah Wilson, a tackle from Georgia.
Okay, and not much to see here. If you Google Isaiah Wilson arrested, which is kind of strange. You'd think it'd be a common name. Former Georgia tackle Isaiah Wilson selected by the Titans in the first round of the NFL Draft. So, football is the kid's life, so let's see what's it going to be, Di. How's he going to do? How are the Tennessee Titans going to fare with Isaiah Wilson?
He got an 8, which at the 29th overall pick puts him in bust territory, unfortunately.
Well, better luck next time. On to your beloved Miami Dolphins once again. A pick that they stole off the Packers. And what they get?
With the number 30 overall pick and their third pick of the first round, the Miami Dolphins have selected Noah Imbinagany, a corner from Auburn.
And Noah Imbinagany, if you Google his name and arrested, North Carolina man arrested in football player shooting death. Durham, North Carolina.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that Noah Imbinagany was not the football player in that article.
No, he's alive and well. He also didn't kill one, and his name is mentioned nowhere in this article. Way to go, Google, and your hatred for college football players continues. How is old Noah going to do with your hating Miami Dolphins?
We got a 9 here.
Oh.
Which at the 30th overall pick, and as you would imagine, as it gets further on, statistically it gets harder to succeed. It does still qualify him as a bust.
Well, bust. Good for you. Good for you. You're staving off these Dolphins pretty well.
Yeah, the Dolphins had 3 first-round picks, and they turned it into a Pro Bowl quarterback, a 5+ year starter at tackle, and a bust at corner. Yeah, I'll find a way to deal with that. I'm not happy that Tua is going to be making Pro Bowls for them, but it is what it is.
Hey. With 3 picks, and that's the way it's going to turn out, you can't really be too upset about that. So, on we go to the Minnesota Vikings and the pick they got from the San Francisco 49ers. What do we got, Law?
With the number 31 overall pick, the Minnesota Vikings have selected Jeff Gladney, a corner from TCU.
Okay. And if you Google Jeff Gladney arrested, first thing that comes up from Fort Worth Star-Telegram, TCU football, could cornerback Jeff Gladney be suspended by the Big 12 from October 5th, 2019?
Ooh.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, could be some drama there. Let's see if the Die knows some more about this. And let's see how the career of Jeff Gladney is going to go.
He needs an 11 or better to not bust here.
Wow.
And he did not get it. Came up a 6.
Wow. A 6. Not even close. Not even close there at that number 31 position. All right. Well, hey, not much you could do when you get down this low into the first round. The Die becomes a harsh mistress. We're moving up to the final pick, first round, the NFL draft. The Kansas City Chiefs with their first pure pick.
And with that 32nd overall pick, the Chiefs have selected the first running back of the draft, Clyde Edwards-Helaire from LSU.
Okay, and if you Google Clyde Edwards-Helaire and arrested, first thing that comes up, it's once again from The Advocate. LSU football players questioned, not arrested, after fatal shooting in Baton Rouge. Wow. And his name is actually in this article, but that's as far as we'll go. So, anyway, let's see, legal troubles aside, how Clyde Helaire is going to fare for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He needs a 12 or better to not bust here. Oh, so close. It's an 11.
But he's a bust. He's a big fat bust for the Kansas City Chiefs. And there you have it, folks. The Die has spoken. There is absolutely no way that any of these predictions could be wrong. And you will do what you will with that information. But the Die has spoken.
Cheers. Pour one out. Throw the bottle. I'll let you go first, my friend. Who you cheersing?
I'm going to cheers to the league on this, to every team. Like, a lot of pundits get upset when a team will make a pick that is against conventional wisdom. They'll jump down the GM's throat, right? And then when the picks are right in line with what you thought was going to happen, these pundits get on TV and on the radio and they say, well, the draft was kind of boring, nothing really interesting. Well, you know what? That's because everybody was doing their job and they were filling positions of need and they were doing the right thing. And everybody on this list and all of these teams picked up what they felt was the best player to fill the position they needed. And a boring draft is kind of what you want. That's why Law and I do these things. to make it more interesting, to make it more fun. Because it's supposed to be boring and pedestrian because that means that the GMs are doing their job and they're filling the positions they need to fill. So cheers to the NFL teams. Don't listen to the pundits. Don't listen to the talking heads. Keep doing your job and doing it well.
Hear, hear. All right, my cheers is going out to post-draft, my pick to win the Super Bowl should this next season get played, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. They traded back a little bit. They picked up a Hall of Fame defensive tackle in Javen Kinlaw. They got a guy in Brandon Ayuk that's going to start for them for a little while, which is no small feat at wide receiver. They were already stacked, man. They made it even better. I love this draft for the 49ers, and cheers to the 49ers. My early pick for Super Bowl champion.
I'm going to have to pour one out for my poor, beleaguered New York Giants.
Yeah.
Not only is Andrew Thomas going to be pedestrian at best because the die told me so, but Dallas and Philadelphia, they seem to have some superstar potential here. God, I shouldn't even say potential. I'm going against the die, but it looks like there's rough times ahead for my New York Giants, so I'm pouring one out.
I'm going to pour one out for the Ohio State University because, wow, you guys had 3 first-round picks, 2 in the top 3, and 2 out of the 3 of them busted, and the other one isn't going to be playing for all that long. So, pouring one out for the Ohio State University. You know, in a draft where basically it's like 4 schools that make up the majority of the draft. Bama, LSU, Clemson, Ohio State. You can throw Georgia in there too, I guess. You guys didn't show up this year, so pouring one out for them.
And finally, to throw the bottle, the aforementioned talking heads pundits, another very general one here from me, but I got to do it because the coverage of the NFL draft really does disgust me. And I know it disgusts you to an extent too, Law. That's why we do
100%. Yep.
Because the whole reason we do this is to prove that, you know what, we're at least going to be more right than Colin Cowherd. It's impossible. It's impossible not to be. It's impossible not to be. So the way that they cover it, all these talking heads talking like they have all the answers. They know how these guys are going to perform. They know what's going to happen. They don't. And it's the most pretentious time of year for these talking heads. So I want to chuck a bottle right at those talking heads and let them know that we're doing this in spite of them because we're going to be just as accurate, if not more so.
Could not agree more. But based on everything we heard today, I'm going to throw my bottle at Andre Richardson, that jackass that threw the baby out the window. What the hell's wrong with you, brother? You got some problems. I hope that guy went to jail, and I hope he's getting what's coming to him. Throwing the bottle.
Yeah, throw the bottle right at him. And Google, could you get on top of finding out why when we Google college football players, we get stories about men throwing babies out windows?
That have nothing to do with the players.
That have nothing, I guess we have to qualify, that have nothing to do with the player? Jeez. All right, well, good.
I'm going to have to throw disclaimers all over this video.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we're gonna, none of the stuff is true. Oh my God! All right. Well, anyway, it was fun. It was fun exercise, and I think every time we do one of these draft, these 20-sided draft things, it'd be fun to throw in a little bonus like that. But we'll see what the future holds. I had fun doing it. I hope you guys had fun listening to it.
Until next time. He's Tony.
And he's the Law.
Have a good one, everybody.
Cheers, folks.